السلام عليكم تلاميذي الأعزاء ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه الطيبين ومن والاه إلى يوم الدين. شكرا على الكلمة الطيبة التي أتلقاها منكم في التعليقات. ضع لايك، اضغط على الاشتراك وفعل الجرس ليصلك كل جديد، وشارك الفيديو مع أصدقائك لتعم الفائدة. This is our second term test. It is for the second year literature or philosophy and scientific streams. Let's start reading the text. Martin Luther King Jr. was born in Atlanta, Georgia, in USA, 1929. Okay? At that time in America, black people didn't have equal rights with white people. كان زاد هو في الوقت اللي نزاد فيه كان السود ما عندهمش نفس الحقوق مع البيض، يعني البيض كان عندهم حقوق أكثر. The schools were segregated. كانوا المدارس مقسمة. segregated, separated. Okay. And there في المدارس تاعهم were even separate public restrooms for black and white people. كانوا هناك حتى غرف راحة منقسمة، يعني جزء للبيض وجزء للسود. Black people's lives were not very good. كانوا السود ما عندهمش حياة جيدة. He was a Baptist minister and social activist. كان وزير في الدين، في الشؤون الدينية، وسوشيال اكتيفيست، يعني ناشط اجتماعي، social, who played a key role in the American civil rights. لعب دور مهم جدا في الحركة الأمريكية تاع civil rights اللي هي حق الشعب، until from the mid-1950s until his assassination. يعني من منتصف الخمسينات حتى مقتله assassination or yes in 1968. معناها he was killed, he was assassinated, he was killed. اغتيل في 1968. inspired ملهم. okay, inspired by whom? inspired by advocates اللي كانوا يحبوا ولا اللي كانوا يفضلون of non-violence. advocates of non-violence اللي كانوا يحبوا الطرق السلمية، مثل مانهاتا غاندي. كينج sought equality for African Americans. sought هو الفعل الباسي سامب تاع to seek، يبحث. King sought equality المساواة for African Americans, the economically disadvantaged and the victims of injustice. Okay, and victims of injustice كانوا ضحايا تاع اللامساواة through peaceful protest. okay, through peaceful protest معناها مطالبات ولا احتجاجات سلمية. he was the driving force معناها كان هو اللي دفع. okay, the driving force القوة الدافعة وراء the watershed هذيك الموجة اللي جت قوية of events. watershed events الأحداث. أوكي، الأحداث القوية اللي جت في مونتغومري like as such as the Montgomery bus boycott. كان كاين Montgomery bus boycott، كانت مقاطعة تاع البوس. and the march on Washington، المسيرة في واشنطن. هذه الأحداث تقدروا تبحثوا عليهم كثقافة عامة، كانوا أحداث مميزة. which helped bring about such landmark اللي which had to bring about such landmark التي ساعدت ولا أدت إلى حدوث ولا إلى عقد civil rights حقوق الإنسان في 1964 and the voting rights حق الانتخاب في 1965. King was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. أهدي نوبل بيس برايز. وشنو هي نوبل بيس برايز؟ جائزة نوبل للسلام. and is remembered كل each year كل عام يتفكروه في يوم مارتن لوثر كينج داي a US federal holiday since 1986 معناها منذ 1968 ولا يخلد ذكره ولا يذكر كاتحادي فيدرال يوم اتحادي فيدرال هوليداي عطلة من أجل مارتن لوثر كينج. Let's start. This is the source. Here is the source of the text. The source of the text. Let's read the examples. Reading the questions. Reading interpretation. The text is a letter. ثم تقولوا letter وش فيها greetings dear friend dear وفيها signature مع التالي ما فيهاش source. Is it a website article معناتها الانترنت article ولا a speech؟ وشنو speech؟ خطاب. Of course it is a website article. It is a website article. Here it is. Are the following sentences true or false? Martin Luther King played a small role in the American civil rights. Small role برك لعب غير دور صغير. Of course false. Of course it is false. He played a big role. He protested peacefully for the African Americans' equal rights. Protested peacefully معناتها with no violence. Of course he protested peacefully. Before Martin Luther King's fight, Black Americans didn't used to have the same rights as white Americans. قالك قبل ما يتحدى هو ويدير يدير كل كامل اللي عليه يعني فايت يعني هنا قالك before Martin Luther King's fight المقاومة Black Americans didn't used to have the same rights as white Americans. Of course they didn't used to have the same rights. They were unequal. They lived in inequality. They were not equal, not the same rights. So this is true. Martin Luther King was a politician. Was he a politician? Of course, no. He wasn't a politician. Answer the following questions according to the text. When was Martin Luther King killed? When was he killed? Shall we see in the text? Let's see it. Here it is said he was assassinated. He was assassinated Here it is. In 1968. What are the two important events in Martin Luther King's fight against racial injustice. We have seen them. وقلنا بلي كاين زوج حاجات الحق باش يحققهم. No, before this, that what are the events that happened? Here are they are the Montgomery bus boycott, and the March on Washington. Okay, and the March on Washington. These are the two events. Here it is. He was the driving force behind watershed events. Okay, this is it. These are the events. So, what are the rights that the two events brought? وشنو هم الحقوق اللي هذه الأحداث سهلوهم ولا جابوهم؟ أوكي، الحقوق اللي جابوهم هما brought. Here they are. هام الحقوق which helped bring about such landmark legislation as Civil Rights Act. Okay, as Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act in 1965. Okay, how is Martin Luther King remembered in America? كيفاش يتفكروه؟ He was remembered as and is remembered each year on Martin Luther King as a federal holiday. Okay, holiday. This is it. A U.S. federal holiday. Okay. What do the underlined words refer to in the text? هذه كي كنا نقراو في التكست شفناها. There قلنا هناك. There at school. Okay, schools. Which قلنا عليها كيف كي كنا نقراو. This يعني events such as this which helped bring the event Montgomery bus boycott and the March on Washington. Okay, تقدروا تكتبوهم which هما هادو the events such as. Okay, وذير هما the schools. Okay, this is it. Text exploration. Find in the text words that are synonyms to the following. Separated. قلنا they had separated rooms ولا segregated. Yes, segregated. هملك. Segregated. Received يعني تلقى. اوكي، تلقى. راح نشوفوها في التكست. وش تلقى هو من عندهم؟ تلقى جائزة نوبل. He was awarded. اوكي، هنا received was awarded. Good. Find in the text that now opposites of duties. What are the duties? We have done a table which expresses duties and rights, of course. Rights are the contrary of duties. And then we have inequality, equality, we have seen it. Who has found it? Who found it? No one? It is in paragraph 2. Let's see it. It is in paragraph 2. Equality. Here it is. equality. Okay. Now, complete the following table. Verb to save. Noun. Safety, of course. Safety. Safety. And adjective. Safe. Safe. Rejection. Rejection. The verb is to reject. Okay, reject. We omit I-N-O-N. And the adjective can be rejective. Okay, rejective. With V. Rejective. Rewrite sentence B so that it means the same as sentence A. As sentence A. Okay. We must fight all forms of racism. Those who haven't done the passive form, don't worry, okay? You will not have to answer. You are not going to be asked about passive voice if you did not do it. إلا ما درتوش passive form ما تخافوش ما يسقسوكمش عليه ما يديروهمكمش. Okay? We must fight all forms of racism. So, all forms of racism. Okay? We start with all forms of racism and must be. When we have modals, we only put the modal and add be, but the verb must be put in the past participle, must be fought. Okay, F-O-U-G-H-T. Martin Luther King was assassinated. So someone assassinated Martin Luther King. Okay, assassinated Martin Luther King. We have the same tense. Is in the past. Assassinated is in the past. Okay, assassinated. What do the underlined modal verbs express? We have seen obligation, deduction, possibility, prohibition. Okay, prohibition is the opposite of obligation. Let's see. My house is near the bus station. My house is near the bus station. So it must be very noisy. Do you think that is it an obligation? It must be very noisy. Or we mean أكيد. We mean أكيد or no. أكيد تكون فيها الحس بزاف يعني نسكنوا قدام التران ولا البيس يعني عندنا اوتوماتيكمون أكيد نكونوا عندنا بزاف الحس يعني كي نتذكروا أكيد برك يعني it's a deduction. Good. Deduction. استنتاج. My eyesight isn't very good. My eyesight isn't very good. I have to wear glasses for reading. Okay, ما نشوفش مليح لازم لي ندير glasses. So I have to لازم of course it's an obligation. You are in hospital. You mustn't make so much noise. Okay, في الهوبيتال ما لازمش نديروا الحس. So it is a prohibition, of course. Good. Mark intonation. Can he resolve the problem? Okay, the intonation goes up. Yes, he can. Down. Up, then down. Fill in the gaps with the following words. Now, Martin Luther King was a civil rights what? Civil rights what? We must have now an adjective. Civil rights is a noun. Adjective is an activist. Okay? Activist. ناشط. Okay? ناشط في حقوق الإنسان. Civil rights activist in 1950s and 1960s. He led, okay, to lead led سيارة. Okay, he led non-violent protests. هو سيرهم protests مظاهرات احتجاجات. Okay, to fight for the rights باش يحارب لحقوق من أجل حقوق كل الشعب. Rights of all people including African Americans. Okay, يعني all peoples كل الشعوب ولا كل الشعب كل الشعوب including African Americans. okay, because African Americans هما شعب ديجا، يعني all people هما شعوب. he that America and the world could become. he that America and the world معناها هنا تمنى. اوكي، انا اتمنى يعني hoped or dreamed. اوكي، هنا ما كاش الفعل dream، احنا شفناه من قبل بلي to dream ولا to hope. اوكي، hoped that America and the world could become a what society, one society or color blind society. معناها a society where we don't see the color of the skin. color blind, don't see it. okay, we are blind of it. okay, color blind society. اوكي، ما نشوفوش في اللون. society متحاسب حتى واحد على اللون تاع البشرة تاعو. where race would not impact، ما يأثرش race. اوكي، العرق ما يأثرش do not impact a person's civil right، ما يأثرش في حقوق الإنسان. he is considered one of the great orators of modern times. he is considered one of the great orators of modern times. the oratoric style درناه وشفناه، هو الستيل اللي نستعملوا فيه الريبيتيشن بزاف، ونديروا اسلوب التحسيس والترغيب. اوكي، باش القارئ ولا المستمع يتأثر بك وياخذ الرأي ويسمع لك. اوكي، of modern times and his speeches، الخطابات نتاعو still مازالها still many to this day. وش تدير لهم؟ inspire مازالت تلهم الكثير ولا تأثر فيها. okay, many to this day. to this point we have finished the text. okay, thank you so much. you can read it again and understand it more. okay, thank you so much. goodbye, see you later.